The minority in Parliament has asked Lands and Natural Resources Minister Samuel Abujinapo to take action against persons illegally exporting rosewood. The NDC MPs are asking for evidence of prosecution nearly 2 months after 5 persons were picked up in connection with an impounded truck full of rosewood at the Tema port. It also follows another impoundment of woods at Savelugu in the northern region. Dr. Clement Apark is a member of Parliament for Busa South. He joins me on the line. Mr. Apark, I know that this is a subject that you've been very vocal about in the last few months. There's another case of a truck being impounded. There appears there's not much by way of prosecution. Is it your estimation that this will also pass without seeing the light of day?
I say good afternoon to you, good afternoon to viewers, and to indicate that I am in Tamale with the Public Accounts Committee. This is not an issue that I've raised for just a few months. In fact, I've been at it for the past 5 years. And I'm sad to say that given what I know, how vigorously I've advocated, how vigorously environmental CSOs and NGOs have advocated, and the continuous assurance from the First Minister under the Akufo-Addo government, I think about Honorable Amewu, to Honorable Asumachreme, to the current one, about a ban, a reinforced ban, now a total ban on the export of rosewood from Ghana. And to think that in all this time, not even one person has been put before any court of law for engaging in this criminal activity. I clearly can have no comfort believing that in this case of the impoundment of one truck in the Savelugu pit is going to be any different. And that is not the simple truth.
Now, I know also that, in the last instance where the impounded truck was donated to the building of a national cathedral, you raised serious concerns about that and said that, for example, they should have been channeled into constructing infrastructure for pupils in the parts of the country where these species of wood are coming from. That didn't happen. And now we have another set of, rosewood species impounded. Do you believe anything is going to happen at all?
Well, first of all, let me indicate that even before the minister made that announcement about taking custody of the impounded 5 containers of rosewood which were at the port and had prepared for export, it was because some of us had the alarm. And it is important to note, I got the information through my own sources. And indeed, when I checked, it was the case. So I wrote an article about it. I believe it was as a result of the widely circulated article that then caused the minister to go to the port and to take custody of the said 5 containers. Such that I filed a question on the same issue, asking the minister to tell the House what he was going to do in light of the 5 containers of rosewood impounded at the port. Now listen to this carefully. The minister, in response to this question on the floor of Parliament, said that his ministry, through their investigation, had identified owners of 4 of the containers. Then I asked again, what action is being taken and what or not the case has been reported to the police? The minister was not able to give me a direct answer. His response was that his ministry is conducting his investigation and other security agencies would also be conducting their investigation. This in June. We are now in August, getting to September. I have not heard of any arrests. I'm not hearing of any prosecutions. And so on what basis should I have comfort? But with regards to the decision to donate the 5 containers of food towards the construction of the cathedral, the question I ask is this. Those who planned the cathedral, did they not factor in the cost of wood? Did they write to the ministry saying that they rosewood?
Right.
Why don't we use this wood to make furniture and other fixtures to supply to the schools and house in the catchment area where this wood has been stolen from? And I respond with that argument, and I believe it is the moral and the right thing to do.
Mr. Apak, briefly, before I let you go, some have cited the NDC, the NPP, all the politicians as complicit in this particular illegal export of rosewood and harvesting of same. How do you respond to that? And that is the reason why there's no commitment to dealing with it once and for all.
Well, I am an NDC. I don't know anyone in NDC who is involved. And I've been advocating this issue for 5 years. I've never received a call from anyone in the NDC, any party member, not conscious. The government government to give that man an effect.
Okay.
And if you be minded, the Environmental Intelligence Agency report, which came out in 2019, on the basis of which I even filed a complaint with the special prosecutor to investigate. The report made it very clearly of official complicity. It said that the NPP party officials were involved. I'm not saying it. So let's look at an independent source which has identified the fact that party apparatchiks, government officials, and officials of the Forestry Commission are beneficiaries, and that is why we are not seeing the needed action to punish those who are doing it.
Okay.
Because
All
they are
right.
paying us